Hello there, Sputterers! Thank you for joining in. I am your host, DM Dave. You can find me at Dave's World Games on Instagram or Dave Spaeth on Facebook. Or please check out our Facebook group or our Discord group, Sputter Media. You are all invited to any of these to join me and my fellow cast members, which I am about to introduce. First up tonight, before we get too much further along, let us introduce our host GM tonight, Mr. Vexindono. Tell them who you are and where they can't find you, you clandestine motherfucker.
What one would say that I am an enigma, which is actually tying greatly into what I want to talk about later. Hi, everyone. I'm Vexindono. I have no social media presence whatsoever. I am a country bumpkin through and through. But as far as being an enigma, I do want to point out that when I was much younger, I was very, very much into Diablo 2. And if anybody knows about Diablo 2, there's a ladder system when season resets.
Mm-hmm.
And
wait, that server still exists?
Yes, it still exists.
Holy shit.
The ladder system for Diablo 2 still exists.
You are kidding me. You are fucking kidding me.
No, it does. It does. You can still ladder on... Yep.
Oh, you know what? I think I know why.
Diablo and...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yep. You can still... You're good. You can still ladder on original Diablo as far as I know. And you can ladder on all of the other Diablos as well for season resets.
I think it might have something to do...
my fun fact is...
Go ahead. Sorry. I thought you were done.
No, you're good. My fun fact is that when I was 15 years old, I stayed up for 3 days straight. I was number 1 on the Necro ladder, and the only reason I was able to that spot, got a very, very lucky draw. Actually got the Enigma breastplate, which gives you the Sorcerer teleport ability. So that's my fun fact, that I was three days on the number 1 spot for Necro of the World on 1 reset for Diablo 2.
There you go, folks. Sick. Fun fact, Vexindono is a total loser. No, I'm playing. We are all total losers. 100%. We wouldn't be here if we weren't, right? No, I do. That's curious. I didn't realize that the Diablo 2 servers still existed. I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that they released the remaster right when they were releasing Diablo 4 as a it was like a pre-release promotion that they released the. So I guess I got to ask: are you talking about the remastered or the original?
A little Diablo 4 play, if you will.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the original Diablo 2 servers, not the remastered. The original Diablo 2 servers are still live.
I want to say they are. I'd have to do a quick lookup because I haven't checked them in a long time, but I'm pretty sure they are. Diablo 2 still has a huge fandom.
No, of course it has a huge fandom, but usually, like 20 years after a game releases, the servers aren't there anymore. Like, you can't play Warcraft 3. It's not there anymore.
It looks like that they shut down the Diablo 2 the original Diablo 2 ladders, and opened up Diablo 2 Resurrected ladders.
There you go. I had a feeling. I had a feeling that they might have shut down the originals when they launched the remastered.
Just to combat misinformation, you can play Warcraft 3, by the way.
Are you shitting me?
You can, absolutely. All
right, I feel like I am missing the fuck out so hard that that's still going, because I miss the fuck out of Dota. Like, the original Dota, before Dota was Dota, it was Dota in Warcraft 3.
Hell yeah.
I feel a new spawn of a Sputter Media's game.
Dude, I'm not. You know what? Like, seriously, maybe we got to do that. We might just have to be like, let's all just fucking download the old school shit and do this. Let's do some fucking let's do some Dota. We can do some like 3-on-3. right? Well, we need one more player, but I'm sure we could like call someone like Chris Masters-Maw in for this. Oh shit. Yep. Oh, no, I'm wrong. I was about to say I didn't.
Something you said earlier about us all being losers because, like, fuck you. I have a
What?
life.
No, you don't.
Bailey,
No, you don't.
our sweet vile Violet Bailey over there is not a loser. She is a catch.
All right. That you
I'm
know
a
what?
doer,
You are
motherfucker.
biased, but
I'm a
also
doer.
she is
I
going
like to
next.
do
Tell them who
shit
you
and I
are.
do shit all the time.
You are biased, but also she is next. Bailey, tell them who you are and where they can find you.
I am Bailey in the Bailey. I believe we went over the whole scenario for how that works a couple weeks ago.
That was so much fun last week.
You can find me on Instagram at FloralGypsy25 or just by searching Bailey in the Bailey, but it's spelled pretty funny like most D&D names, so good luck. And you can also find me on Sputter Media at Bailey, Eyle. I'm here to answer questions or help you become a better gamer or whatever you possibly may need of me. If you just want to ask me random stupid questions, I'm super into that, and I have lots of fun facts. I'm very good at bar trivia.
Yeah, no,
That is all, my
seriously,
friend,
you can
until
kill a whole
next
day
time.
talking to Bailey. That's not a joke.
I have a lot of knowledge, I'm just saying. But I'm not a loser.
Yeah, you are.
So, I resent that remark. I do not resemble that remark. Because I am a winner.
All right, so thank you for that, and then let's talk to Dominic. Go ahead and tell him who you are and where they can find you.
Hey, my name is Dominic. I am also known as the Adventurous GM on Start Playing Games, where I GM a variety of games. And you can find me at Kung Fu Panda _Malang on Instagram. Unfortunately, you'll not see me post much. It's basically a dead account, but you can still find me there. I get tagged and stuff sometimes. And God, talking about Diablo 2 just reminds me of the days where it'd be like you and all your friends would play a game like Diablo, and it'd be like, oh, what build were you using? Like, you're not gonna believe this. No build. We just looked at what skill.
Oh, right.
Cool
there was no builds. There were back in the day where there was no builds. You just picked the class and there you went.
Like the barbarian looks cool, and I like when he goes spinny, spinny, spinny.
I want to say in Diablo 2,
the day
in
of
Diablo
LAN parties
2,
where builds were challenges.
In Diablo 2,
LAN parties.
the two best classes in Diablo 2, my opinion, Barbarian and Druid.
I will agree and disagree.
I'm hearing it.
I think that Whirlwind Barbarian has a special part in my life because Whirlwind Barbarians could go farm keys and get them infinitely faster than any other Diablo class in the game.
Uh-huh.
And Smite Paladins were the only ones that could solo Uber bosses with any relative speed.
And Druids were the only ones who could turn into a fucking werebear. Shut up.
That is true. That is true. I will not deny that. Aesthetically, Druids are the best class. However,
Druids
the
and
power
barbarians.
gamer in me will not. That's fair.
No, go ahead. Power gamer and you. I didn't want to discount your statement. I was just laughingly joking along.
Oh, no, you're good. I was just saying that the power gamer in me can't dissuade the fact that if you have a fully built and spec'd out barbarian that's whirlwind attuned, you can go through and get all the keys for Uber bosses.
Oh, yeah.
And if you have a Smite Pally set up, you can just farm ultimate gear as much as you want.
Oh, right.
That was...
Yeah.
And that being said, I'm a Necro main. I main a Necro, so...
Oh, excellent.
I like when all the skeletons go burn.
Yes. All right.
I was that troll who would summon a billion skeletons and crash everyone else's computers. I was that guy.
Well, before I kick it over to our last cast member, I just want to say hashtag there is no cow level. And go ahead, Naga, tell them who you are when they can find you.
Hey, everybody. I'm Naga, otherwise known as Eric. You can find me on just about any social media platform under the moniker of Nagatsu, Nagatsu11, Nagatsu Seiken, what have you. Good luck actually getting in contact with me because I'm not active on any of them except for Discord, which you can find me under that moniker there as well.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
yeah, feel
Join the
free to hit me up.
Discord. If you really want to talk to any of the cast members, our Discord is the best place to do that. So if you want to interact with your favorite Sputter Media cast members, join our Discord, and they will show you the love. I promise. All right. So before we kick it off to Vexindono to be our host GM tonight for Roll for Shoes, let's give it over to Bailey really quick, who's going to give a little bit of love to our corporate sponsor.
Okay, our corporate sponsor is Dubby Energy. It's the jitterless energy drink that'll get you up and going in the day. In the evening, too, if you're looking for a little bit of energy to go with your cocktail. It's made from coffee fruit extract instead of coffee beans like we're used to. And it is honestly super delicious because they have so many different flavors. There's not a single flavor that isn't good that they have. My
It's
personal
basically
favorite
like
is Galaxy
Kool-Aid.
Grenade.
Like you get a Kool-Aid-ish kind of tub. Just take a scoop, dump it into your shaker, shake it up, add water, all that stuff. Fantastic, easy to do.
That's the traditional kind of Dubby, but they actually just released canned energy drinks as well.
That is right.
They have
Thank you for
orange
bringing that
mango
up.
flavor and strawberry banana flavor, but last I checked, strawberry banana was sold out. So I would get that orange mango while it's still available.
If you want to try Dubby in a can, get it now because the looks like there was a limited number of canned Dubby produced, and they already sold out of one flavor. So please, by all means, support Sputter Media by buying some Dubby and using coupon code Sputter. And you will get 10% off of your order, and you get to support us because we get 10% of your order as well, right? So you get the discount, we get the difference. Fantastic. Please help us out. That being said, I think now is the time to kick it over to Vexindono because he is running our session tonight. And I'm getting out my dice because clickety clacks.
Clickety clacks. I hope you all ready to get a taggity.
Right.
All right. So I will do the recap for last week as far as setting the scene and introducing our characters. And if anybody wants to afterwards jump in and fill the audience in on what happened specifically in the last session pertaining to your character, by all means.
If I may, I think that each player should reintroduce their characters. We created them last time. We introduced them. Yeah. But I feel like every player should give the opportunity to and I'm not going first. Freaking 1, 2, 3, not it. Alan, are you listening?
Absolutely. I will give everybody an opportunity to introduce their characters during the recap and setting of the scene. Perfect. And then after the recaps and I reset the scene, then we can go through and do the recap for specific things that each person remembers that is prevalent to their character in the story.
Ooh. You're making it complicated. You're making us all remember shit, huh?
I want people to remember what happened to their characters in the last session that is prevalent. And then I will end it where we ended the session.
Yes.
So the camera zooms in to a small, quaint town surrounded by graves and pock-filled roads. The town sign swings and it says Mudgrave Hollow. This is a quaint little town in the ever-expanding Western-style scenario. The town has a clay mine that is under constant renovations due to the quantity of clay being extruded and out to neighboring communities. There is a beautiful toll booth erected in the center of town where the town square is basically built up around it. And the Morticians Academy infamous name is whispered by the occupants of the town. In this town, we have several key people, and the first one that we can jump in is Darla, who entertains at the saloon. Darla, would you please give us a slight recap on your character and their goals?
Darla is a raven-haired, but it's floofy around her face, a human person with a pistol at her side at all times, and she likes to sing and dance, but she's not afraid to get into a scrap when she needs to. She just had volunteered, I believe, to be the point person in a duel that was about to happen.
Okay. As we sway away from Darla, we run across this beautiful, beautiful Catholic chapel that is rising high. The only building that surpasses the Catholic chapel is the Morticians Academy. And on the steps of the academy, we see a figure walking up to the doors. And this would be our glorious Father Furious, Salvador, who enjoys the simple things in life, like explosions and chemical reactions. Would Father Furious please give us a slight recap on his character and his goals?
Yes, I'm playing Salvador Furious, a fire and brimstone preacher. He's always we had to tell you their fashion, and I have in my notes here it says black leather and crosses, motherfucker. So
an apt description.
But he doesn't
always
say
wear-
the motherfucker, right? He says mother, father, or something like that, right?
yes, I would never use those curse words.
Absolutely not.
That'll
Cookie
send you
will.
straight. um, and he specializes in chemistry and pyrotechnics, always trying to use pyrotechnics to drive his point home during his fire and brimstone sermons to make sure his parishioners know that basically no matter what they do, they're headed for hell unless they act perfectly. Also a bit of a specialist in furniture destruction.
His fire and
And-
brimstone sermons have actual fire and brimstone.
Indeed, yeah. You can smell the sulfur.
Yes.
It's basically like the 4D theater experience of sermons.
Yes.
So he basically in the last session, then other than just generally harassing the townsfolk, which is kind of his job, he there was a mysterious stranger that entered the saloon, and Salvatore Furious kind of tried to get to know him in his own way, which wasn't very successful as he's not a very personable guy, and then attempted an exorcism on him when he believed he was evil after identifying he had gator skin leathers from New Orleans. And Salvatore thought New Orleans is basically the land of the devil. Nothing good's coming from there. And then the guy got mad and challenged me to a duel, and Salvatore luckily was helped out by a couple of the other usual suspects in the town, played by the other characters. And we were kind of setting up a. I wasn't even gonna bring a pistol because I'm such a bad shot, but I was gonna try to razzle and dazzle him with some pyrotechnics while the other members of the group yanked him and various other things people did to prepare, which I'll let them tell you about. And that's pretty much Salvatore.
Perfect. The camera swipes away as Father Furious enters the chapel looking very tired at around 4 o'clock in the morning to go get a little bit of rest before his ultimate duel the next day. The camera will bank far across the town. The buildings become slowly more dingy and then eventually become fully decrepit until you find a small outhouse on the lower side of an estate that has been burnt down and then partially deconstructed for materials, where we see a wonderful little cookie character going into the outhouse and scurrying down a ladder into a subterranean home that he has dug himself out of. Cookie,
I
could
just gotta
you
say, like, at first I wasn't sure if you were introducing me or Naga, but then as the description got more developed, I was like, all right, he's talking about Cookie. So,
Yeah.
so
Cookie, could you explain yourself going down the ladder and into your home and what people could expect seeing inside of your house and
fant-
your play at large?
all right. So I'm playing Cookie, the comically inept geological surveyor. You'll usually see me wearing overalls, torn and holy shirts, and I always got a stew pot and a sextant with me. Because, like I said, I'm a geological surveyor, right? You got to have that sextant. So down in Cookie's little tunnel, we have a cot, we have a stew pot, and a small little fireplace, and we have a little mouse named Norman. That's about it. We've got the cot, the stew pot, the cooking spot, and Norman, the little mouse that keeps Cookie company in the late hours.
Norman looks at you and squeaks in complete derision as Norman, unbeknownst to you, knows exactly what you've been up to and is very upset that you have decided to help Father Furious, who has on several occasions tried to exorcise the spirits and demons that inhabit your body. And Norman has a very, very close connection to those spirits. Also,
And
there's a lot of whiskey on the floor, and
yeah,
Norman's
oh,
very drunk,
absolutely.
and he's trying to impersonate Father Furious against you right now.
So
And
I
you're too
respond to
tired to
Norman.
notice.
I respond to Norman. I'm like, hey, two things. One, I know he's an asshole. We just can't let him die. We got to do something about that. Come on. And two, I told you to leave my whiskey alone. What the actual fuck?
It motions to the whiskey at the bed and points at it and says, and looks at you with a derogatory stare. And based on Cookie's profession, you realize you broke the bottle when you got out of bed that morning and just didn't notice.
I would like
Opportunity.
to do an incite chaos roll. Oh, before I do any kind of roll, it's probably important for us to explain the rules of this game to our audience. If you weren't paying attention last week or you weren't here last week, we explained the rules for Roll for Shoes, but I'm going to do that again real quick. It's got 6 really simple rules. You can find them at rollforshoes.com. That is ROLLFORSHOES. Roll for Shoes is a micro RPG. Specifically, just it's a great fuck around and find out. The website itself has several adventures that you can use or adapt from to create your own unique adventure. And the 6 simple rules are these. 1, say what you do and roll a number of d6s determined by the level of the relevant skill you have. So, you got a skill, you roll a d6. If you've got this skill and it's a 2, you roll 2d6. And you've got this skill and it's a 3, you roll 3d6. Pretty simple. Rule number 2. If the sum of your roll is higher than an opposing roll, the thing you wanted to happen happens. It's that simple. You roll a d6 or 2d6 or however many d6 associated with your skill against the difficulty that the DM is setting for what you're trying to do. And if your number beats his number, you win. That goddamn simple. Number 3, at the start, you have... Oh, I don't know if you notice, I'm trying to read this like Cookie. Number 3, at
Cookie,
the start...
the unbeknownst stage of the universe.
There you go. Number 3, at the start, if you don't have one skill... at the start, you only have one skill. Do anything one, right? So if you are trying to do something and you don't have the right skill for that, guess what you're rolling? You're rolling do anything. Everybody's got do anything one. And then number 4, if you roll all 6s, you get a new skill specific to the action, one level higher than the one you just used. So you roll a 6 on your do anything one, you create yourself a new skill. And that becomes whatever that skill is, 2. So whenever you roll that skill, you roll 2 dice, etc. and so forth. Number 5, rule number 5. For every roll you fail, you get 1 experience point. 1, just 1. Experience points, this is rule number 6, can be used to change a die into a 6 for advancement purposes only. This means you cannot use an experience point to change the result of your roll, but you can use it to change the result of the roll. You can't use it to change the result of the roll for success or failure of your action, but you can use it to change the result of your roll for the purposes of, I want a new skill. I rolled a 6 and a 5. I want that 5 to be a 6 real quick. I've got an XP point. I'm going to bump that 5 to a 6. I rolled all 6s. Now I have whatever the fuck I rolled 3 instead of 2. That is the rules of Roll for Shoes, and that is what we are playing tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm gonna kick it back to you because I just did that whole thing in Cookie's voice, and I'm gonna shut up.
You're good. You wanted to roll Incite Chaos, and I wanted to know what effect you're going for, because I have a feeling I might change it from Incite Chaos to something else.
Okay. Incite
in reaction
Chaos.
to your mouse mouthing off to you.
Yes. Incite Chaos. I am trying to get him to be on the preacher's side in the fight and find a way to intervene on his behalf. That is the chaos I'm trying to incite. The Mouse Norman is going to become the wild card.
Okay. You know what? Actually, yes. I will let you roll Incite Chaos in that specific instance, and the way you... I was going to make you roll Animal Handling, which is do anything one for you. Mm-hmm. But since you phrased it that way, absolutely. Incite Chaos.
I got a 6.
I love it. You got a 6?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me... I got a 1.
Yes!
So, Norman is about this life. He is in it to win it. He is like, yes, sir, Commander, sir. And in fact, he actually crawls up one of the 100 burrows you see. As you watch him leave, you realize that walls around you are just riddled with holes of Norman going random places. And you're just like, where the fuck did he get that?
No, I don't wonder shit.
Know,
I don't. No. Cookie doesn't wonder shit. Cookie expects the unexpected.
Well, that's why I said you look at him and then you realize that there's holes everywhere, and for a second you're just like, "What the? Never mind, going to bed."
Yep. That sounds about Cookie.
All right, that's perfect. So you have Norman. You have Norman as the ace, and as Norman scurries through these tiny little tunnels that are circulating all throughout this entire town as a
You're realizing you should have given me an NPC real quick, right?
No. As these tunnels of miasma pop up throughout the entire town, the camera swells out from the church once again, which is where Norman the mouse pops out. The camera zooms off to the train station into one of the private cabins of our wonderful Tiberius. Or is it Tiberius? Or Tigert, sorry. Tigert, not Tiberius. Tigert is walking into his illustrious room, decked with many oil lamps, fine rugs, beautiful velvet couches, as he sits down, covered in an exorbitant amount of dust, and going, after helping set up the pyrotechnics array and the small pit traps all over the ground to save a preacher who he only slightly has a relationship with. Tiger, would you mind introducing your character and his goals and give us a snippet into what has happened in the last session?
Well, yeah.
You.
I'm Taggart, just a mustache, potbelly old cowboy with black leathers and a 10-gallon hat, just overseeing the laying of this new train track going through town. And I got no real love for Sal, but I do love fucking with him because, goddamn, is this small town boring, and my job is no help. And I mean, there really is quite no other thrill like stampeding cattle through the valley.
Also, personally, I picture this Wild West town like most Wild West towns, where we might have our issues internally within the town, but
Yeah.
as soon as an outsider comes in and starts messing with any one of us, all of that goes away instantly, and it becomes like
Yep.
us versus them.
Yep. Which, yeah, if you can't tell, I absolutely adore Blazing Saddles, and if you haven't watched it yet, do so. It's a fantastic movie. But anyway, yeah, spent most of last night just figuring out the logistics of where to best place the charges for your pyrotechnics. Cookie was digging the holes, and we got that set up, and now I'm trying to catch a few hours of sleep before the showdown tomorrow. Well, later today.
Okay. So as you go in your room, you have your own personal okay. My brain just shut down. So what is the name of the hang on. What is the name of the Morse code transmitters during the Wild West? Because my brain just shut down and I looked this up earlier today and now I can't remember what the fucking name of it is. Does anybody?
I know what you're talking about.
I do, yeah. Hold on. Morse. Sorry, you're talking about telegram operators, right?
Yes, telegram operators. That's what it is. Telegram. Okay. So your own personal telegram.
Telegraphist is the appropriate term.
Okay. So as you are walking into your room, Mr. Tiger, your own personal graphist is clicking in a weird sequence. It's not in the code of Morse. It's tapping out in a eccentric pattern. Over the last couple months, you have observed this same phenomena happening several times, but you have not been able to discern what causes it. At first, you thought it was an earthquake, but it doesn't happen in any regularity when you reached out to the cartographers academy. to any earthquakes in the area, but it starts rapidly just tapping as soon as you walk into your room.
I'm gonna take a look at the telegraph to see if there's any discernible pattern, if there's any environmental thing going on that might be influencing it.
I'm sorry. I just had to have a laugh at that. I had to have a laugh at that. I look at the telegram to see if there's any discernible pattern. Yes! Morse fucking code! Sorry, I just had to.
You're all right. So you have the several other times where you were there observing your own personal setup, and what you relate is in almost no discernible difference to the last time this has gone off. It's the same basic principle. It's just a bunch of random sequences that are both long and short. There's almost no discernible gaps between them, and it always just comes out in a weird sequence of numbers, oddly. It's never letters. It always just, whenever you try to translate it into a script, it always comes out as numbers. So, it's gibberish, which is weird because even when somebody messes up the code and they throw an S where there should be an O, it's usually you can figure it out. But this one is just, it's beyond your mortal coil to understand.
Right.
So, what do you do after getting this fortuitous foreshadowing event in response to the night of extreme circumstance?
First, I want to compare the sequence of numbers, see if it's the same as before. And second, I want to see if there is some kind of pattern or deeper meaning to them, like if they're map coordinates or something.
Okay. Go ahead and roll investigation for me.
Ooh, auspicious start. 9.
That's okay, because I rolled another 1. DM is not rolling great tonight.
Can we keep this up, please?
I can.
No, wait.
Try.
No. I just realized this is not the game for that. Can we not keep this up? We need XP, and we have to lose some rolls for that.
That's why I said I can try.
I'm going to use the 1 XP I got to turn my 3 into a 6 and get up to investigation 3.
There you
go. Okay. Nice. You do realize that these are, in fact, map coordinates. Are you going to spend the remainder of the night trying to figure out where on the maps that you have that these coordinates line up to? Or are you going to actually get sleep?
I'm going to figure out where these map coordinates are.
Okay, so since Roll for Shoes doesn't have a taking away sleep mechanic, I'm just going to say that what?
I'm saying nope. That's all DM fiat. Literally anything not in the rules is DM fiat, guy.
Perfect.
Yep.
I'm just going to say that all of your rolls from now on are going to be whatever the skill is -1.
Okay.
I'm not taking away a die. I'm taking away a number. So if you roll a 13, it's a 12, so on and so forth. Sound good?
Gotcha. Yep.
Probably doesn't sound good, but is it acceptable?
I mean, I could take away a whole die. I don't feel like that's necessarily at this point. I still want everybody to have fun, but a little bit of a drawback. Okay. Go ahead and roll another investigation check with the -1 to see if you can figure out where this weird code is coming from.
Yeah, while he's rolling, oh, go ahead.
Rolled 12, so that's 11.
I was about to say while he's rolling, but he rolled already.
Okay. Well, let me tell him the success or not, and
Yeah,
then I'll
go
let
ahead.
you jump in.
There you go.
All right. So I rolled a 7, and the coordinates for what is going on, oddly enough, is in Mudgrave Hollow. And you can tell that it's to the north of Mudgrave Hollow, somewhere underneath the cemetery. Now, Mr.
Okay.
Cookie, we
Yeah.
will jump over to Cookie.
Yeah.
And what is Cookie doing? Or
Well,
what's
no,
up
well-
with Cookie?
Well, this wasn't even Cookie. This was Dave. I just wanted to throw something out to you, Vexen. Like, this is normally a Stars and Wishes thing, but I just wanted to tell you, fuck Stars and Wishes. I'm doing it now. You are taking this game and making it your own, and I love the shit out of it. And I just wanted to throw that out there. This would be a Stars and Wishes thing, but it had to be said now. I love so much how you are taking this game and making it your own, and keep doing it. That's it. That's what I want to say. But if you wanted to switch the camera to Cookie, I'm down to do some shit. But I wanted to throw that out there. You deserve to hear that.
I do appreciate it, and I'm not going to let it go to my head. I do. I do want to pull Cookie into just a small scene where Cookie is actually inhabiting his mouse.
I'm
Real
inhabiting
quick.
the mouse. Okay, sure. So do I get the same roles if I'm being Norman? If
You-
I'm being
you
Norman,
do.
I still okay.
You do.
Cool. Down.
Yes, you do.
So Norman
So-
is an extension of Cookie in this case. I'm down with it. Let's do it.
Correct. So, as you are scurrying through one of your many thousands of tunnels that you've spent many, many years digging through, you're scurrying. You remember the smell of Father Furious the last time that Cookie was inundated with the hellfire of the sermons. And you're going through these tiny little tunnels. There's several tunnels where you have to collapse your
Smells like
clavicles
rotten eggs
and
for some
scurry
reason.
through. It does. It really does. His rooms smell really bad, but you're determined. The man who gives you cheese is telling you to save him and make sure he's safe, and you're just digging, you're just going through, and you pop up, and you come into this small little room. It has a small little dresser on one side, a bed on the other, a small trunk, and then a large desk. You scurry through the room, hop up on the desk, and you see that there is a plethora of many different types of Bibles. All of them are the same Bible. They're just various sizes, and they're all opened up to one specific page. All of them. And you see a slowly sleeping priest in the corner on his cot, just covered in dirt, hasn't cleaned himself. He smells the way that Cookie smells when he comes home, but usually when you visit Father Furious, it doesn't smell that way. He smells like eggs, but now he just smells like Cookie, which is weird and oddly comforting. But since you're a mouse, you can't read, so you don't know what page he's opened up to in the various books of the Lord. So what do you do as the mouse?
So what page? And feel free to say
mouse.
What?
Your mouse can't read and can't understand numbers and everything like that.
Okay.
So you have no idea.
But you said, you said I have. You said I have the same skills.
You do have the same skills. However, does Cookie have the skill read?
No, I don't. Cookie doesn't need the skill read.
Do you want to roll for read?
Nope.
Do you want to roll for read?
Nope.
As a mouse?
Nope. I would like to use Norman and do an Incite Chaos roll, and the Incite Chaos roll, the intention, and this is so weird, right? Because this is chaos, and just describing what I want the outcome to be. The intention is to make the page of Father Furious's Bible sorry. I need to. There we go. Oh, whoops. Fuck. Turn the page using Incite Chaos. This is the plan. Turn the page of Father Furious's Bible to Romans 12:17 to 19, but that doesn't matter. It's a page, right? Repay no one evil for evil. Have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much depends on you, live peaceably with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. And that is an Incite Chaos roll for it to land on that page.
So, all of the pages are open up to 1, but based on the page that is actually open on the books versus the page you want to go to, I will let you roll Incite Chaos to try and get there.
Yep.
And I will roll versus you on what happens.
Uh-huh. Oh, shit, that's
All
a
right,
10.
what is your roll for Incite Chaos?
10.
I also got a 10.
So that is a kind of succeed, kind of fail.
A partial
so
success.
It is up. Yeah. So it's up to you how to determine what a partial success means in this situation, DM Fiat.
So what I think is happening is that you're trying to flip all of the pages over to the specific page on the multiple 10 plus Bibles that are on this desk, and as you're opening them up, you have an epiphany as a mouse, and you realize you open one of them up to Elysius 9:5, which is, for the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. And that page kind of resonates with you.
I don't hate that change. I mean, no, it doesn't resonate with shit because this is the mouse, right? So this was like, he was just like trying to just open the page to the right verse to inspire Father Furious in his duel. That was the goal, right? Like Father Furious is gonna wake up and see this is the verse that inspires him. That was the goal.
Well, you have that verse resonates with you, and if you want to spend the rest of the time as the mouse opening and matching the pages up with that one, you absolutely can, but it'll take up the rest of the time of the night.
No. This is a mouse. He was just he was trying to flip it to the right page and hoping it was the right page because he's a freaking mouse. He doesn't have the ability to read. We already established that. So, I'm down to just like, there it is. That was the partial success or failure. There we go.
All right, perfect. Then, as the camera fades off of the mouse, we will jump over to our lovely Darla, who happened upon a very distraught scene as she walks out of her abode in the morning. So we're fast traveling to the morning where everybody's usually waking up. This is about 8 o'clock in the morning. And Darla, you wake up to a scream.
I would make sure that I'm halfway decent at least and run out of my room and see where the scream came from. Well, I would grab a pistol on my way as well.
You run out of your room and look down and see that the barkeep, owner and proprietor of the Mudgrave Hollow Saloon, has unfortunately been found dead in the courtyard between the suites behind the saloon and the saloon itself.
Are the police already there, or who did I hear the scream?
The sheriff, as you walk out, you see the sheriff hastily coming through the alleyway between buildings, pulling on his gun belt, and you see that there are several other ladies of the night, having found the saloon owner, um, in the same area, looking over him with tears in their eyes, and some of them look actually quite happy about it.
Wait, okay, hold on. You're telling me I didn't hear any chatter outside from all of these ladies who already knew about it before the cops got there, before I was able to get outside?
It's a very small town.
Okay.
When the scream happened, the sheriff heard the scream and ran out of his building, which happens to be very close to the saloon.
Okay. This is fair.
How would you like to react? How would you like to react to this situation? This is about 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I
So you have
mean,
only
I'm a
slept.
little bit devastated, but I also want to see if there's clues about who could have murdered him. Can I do some sort of investigation check?
Sure. You can roll an investigation style. Do you have a skill that is specific for that?
I have perception too.
I think I already made Naga's character roll investigation, so I will continue that trend for this game. At
Okay.
least for now. I might change it later and consolidate.
I have rolled a 4 on do anything one.
Wow. God damn it. Our humble host, Dave, has cursed me with ones. I rolled a 2.
Honestly, I wish that were, I wish that weren't true, because, again, we gotta lose sometimes to get XP.
All right. So,
Yeah, I
you see as
would
you
have investigation too. That's all I'm saying.
yeah. So as you walk up and are using your discerning eye, you look at the scene and notice that there are two small holes in his chest. And based on your proficiency with guns, you know that guns leave much larger holes. So you think that these could potentially be very narrow stab wounds. Um, or you're not sure, but both of these holes in his chest have punctured both of his lungs, and there's another very, very small hole that looks like a rod of some sort was shoved through the nape of his neck, chin area, and into his brain, which ultimately stopped him from screaming out.
Damn. Okay. I take note of that stuff. Are his eyes open?
They do not look as if they were open. No.
Okay. I would like to retrieve 2 copper pieces and put them over his eyes.
Okay. Nobody else before you has done this, so you lean down and see that the uh, eyes are not covered. You set 2 pieces or 2 copper coins, which are pennies in this sense, 2 pennies over his eyes to pay for his passage across the river Styx.
Which
So
Did
just seems
Salvatore pop
my
pop
super
out of
super
nowhere
much.
and
If anybody's looking at me funny, I tell them to lay off.
I would like Salvatore to appear out of nowhere and slap the copper off the eyes, and point and say, we will not accept that kind of paganism in our town."
Hold on.
I
I'll
get
give
very
Father
upset
Salvatore
and
a.
retrieve the copper and put it back.
I will hold on a second before Father Furious decides to join in this mess. We're actually jumping over to Father Furious shortly after you put those coins, but you still have a job to do, so you go into the bar, and nobody's manning the bar, and there's just confused bar staff and people in the bar. What do you do?
I whip shit into shape and I start telling people what needs to be done because we're running a business and we still need to make money. It's not the fucking heyday, not day off. It's not some vacation bullshit. Get your shit together. Do I need to make a business
Okay.
roll?
No, no. You don't need to make a business roll. I was just curious if you're going to take over. So you start running the day. You start running the day-to-day startup shift stuff. You've been there long enough that you can do that without a roll. But now we are going to jump over to Father Furious, and Father, there is a knock at your door.
And I wake up, and I look over at my Bible. And can someone repeat what the Bible quote that it actually ended up being opened up to? I got a little bit lost in the mouse scene there.
That
And
is
missed what
fair.
Bible
I can
quote.
give you what I meant to, and then he can tell you what it ended up on because of the partial success failure.
So
Yeah, just
you see your various Bibles because being a father of the faith, you have multiples. And before you went to bed, you opened it up to a specific verse that resonated with you when you went to sleep, and went to sleep contemplating the complexities of that verse before your trials of the next day. And when you wake up, you see that one of your Bibles is opened up to Romans, and then we'll let Cookie's Mouse finish up that one.
Just real quick, I like the idea that every night Salvatore Furious reads like Revelations to calm his mind to go to bed. It's just kind of a Bible coded joke, but he's like, let me just unwind with a little bit of Book of Revelations.
What was the Bible verse that you were trying to open up to, Dave?
The Bible verse that I was trying to open up to was Romans 12:17-19. Repay no one evil for evil. Have regard for good things in the sight of all men. If it is possible, as much as depends on you, live peaceably with all men. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord.
So one of your Bibles is opened up to that verse. The rest of them are opened up to Elastic's 9:5, which is,
Oh my god, so
"For the
Norman did
living
all of the
know that-"
Bibles.
He did all of them.
He did all the Bibles. He did all the Bibles.
The rest of them are opened up to Elastic's 9:5, which is, "For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no reward, for the memory of them is forgotten." So, however Father Furious interprets those two scriptures, knowing that one of them is only one and the rest of them is the rest, however Father Furious decides to react is fully up to him. But there is a knock at the door.
He takes a quick look at the Bibles and processes it as he says, I'll be right there. Who is it? Who's at the door?"
Norman.
Father, 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 this is Prospect and Norian. There's a murder. We need you to perform last rites.
And it's like a diddly diddly. He like does a quick spin and has his like preacher clothes on. He's like, "Last rites. I'll be right there," and runs. out the door immediately.
I'm
As
almost
you open the door,
frightened.
you fully pull over Prospector Norian, who is just a small little abbot-looking character who's just like, ah, shit! As you furiously open the door and pull him over completely and just run out with no additional information.
I kicked my own door out the wrong way. Like, I'm so excited to perform last rites.
Yeah, no, seriously, I wanted to mention, like you literally, like, holy shit, how excited your character was. I get to proclaim over the dead! Yay! Like, goddamn!
I get to escort another one to the lake of fire.
Yes! God, that sounds way more like Father fucking Furious, right? This person is going to the lake of fire and I must help him cross that fiery lake because he won't get there without me.
Uh-oh. Father Furious's crazy senses tingling.
As you run out of the thing, you see that there is a crowd sort of gathering towards the tavern, and it infuels the fire that is righteous amongst you, knowing that this is a place rife with sin, and you're hoping you're going to find that stranger was the one who passed, and you get to perform an exorcism and the last rite at the same time.
Yeah, I push my way through the crowd very unceremoniously. Make way for the Lord! Divinity coming! Divinity coming! And then push my way straight to the body.
Perfect. As you walk, your mood takes a serendipitous turn as you come across the person who has passed away. And this happened to be one of the people who actually gave you a very good feeling when they followed your sermons. They were somebody who had followed you in the path of righteousness. Yes, they worked in a place of sin, but they had constantly followed your sermons and got into them and gave you that hellfire and brimstone sense of sensibility and followed your sermons. And unfortunately, this is the tavern keeper that had you had just had a conversation with, who gave you milk without no questions asked, whereas everybody else questions you. And
Lord have mercy.
You see him having passed away. You do see 2 pennies across his eyes. Signs of the sinful nature of other paganist rituals. And you do see Darla there, who you have offered to be your champion in the duel coming up at noon in about 3.5 hours. How do you react to this, Father Furious?
Father Furious is going to say, Lord have mercy, only the good die young, and kneel down by him and say, though you were a purveyor of many glasses of sin, you were one of the only ones in this godforsaken town with the chance of redemption. And now you lay dead. Why, Lord, why?
Okay, but quick question: how old is Father Furious?
In his 40s.
So yeah, only the good die young. Yeah, we're on track. Go ahead.
And I will grab the coins off the eyes and toss them into the crowd and besmirch them all for allowing pagan rituals to take place in this town, which should be holy, and perform last rites on this man, the tavern keeper.
How does Darla react to that?
Darla is not amused. She's
And I will
gonna be
say,
very upset. Move specifically, so she will move to put the coins back if they are removed in any way, shape, or form.
and Father Furious closes his eyes while he performs last rites. And then when I open the eyes again, the coins are back, right?
Yes.
And I will yell, "Devilry is afoot in this town! Damn it, devilry is afoot!" And then I take the coins and throw them again to the town, and say, the last rites have been ruined by paganry. I have to start again, and kneel down with my eyes closed over the body and perform
Oh my
cosplay.
god! Is Cookie around? Is there some kind of check I can make to see if he's just bullshitting to get extra attention and or what's the word I'm looking for? Pay? I have. Nah, this is gonna be a do anything one. Sorry, it's gonna be a do anything one. Let's call it insight. Maybe. Sound good? Yeah. DM.
Yeah, that sounds fine.
That's a 5.
I rolled a 2.
Yay! So what? So I'm gonna get an. Oh, damn it! I got no XP. That's fuck. All right. What do I learn from my insight?
All right. What sort of insight are you looking for specifically? I just want to make sure I give you something that you'll actually appreciate instead of giving you some mumbo jumbo. What are you looking for specifically?
Cookie wants to know what is going through Father Furious's head. At least on. I mean, obviously, I'm not reading thoughts. This isn't D&D. We don't have magic, but just like, what are the most insightful things that Cookie could garner from what's going on with Father Furious? That's the insight.
Cookie, during this time, as they are staring at the scenario in front of them, realizes that they remember a specific quote from the Bible, which is Ulysses 9:5. The living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they will know no reward, for the memory of them is forgotten. And that is the insight that Cookie gains by watching Father Furious and his remediations of performing last rites.
That is some very
upon
specific
this person.
insight, because you had a particular Bible verse associated with it. And I think Cookie, at this point, is just going to start dancing and repeating that verse that he was inciting from Father Furious.
So, Father Furious, you hear this and you remember, because you have almost the entire Bible memorized. You know this is that quote, and you know that this quote is exactly what you read on 9 out of the 10 Bibles on your desk. This morning.
And I'm going to say this quote again. It keeps appearing. Why, oh Lord, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to tell me? And if it's okay with you, I'd like to roll a schizophrenia check.
Is that already a skill you have? I'm just curious.
No, but it sounds like one I should have.
I will let you roll a mental health check, if that makes sense.
I like mental health.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a good skill.
I got a 6.
I got a 5, so you succeed and you gain mental health too.
Yep.
Okay.
So you don't feel like you're crazy. You just feel like you're having an epiphany from God, and there is something to do with this phrase that is going to impact your life very soon. This is a full epiphany coming to you that this phrase is going to push you forward on the path of righteousness.
Okay. I'm gonna look down at the dead body, and I assume Darla's like coming back with the coins, like sneaking them back and putting them onto the eyes. Uh, and I'm going to abandon the last rites and just kind of. Father Furious is whispering to himself, "The dead have no reward. The dead have no reward." And I'm going to look around the crowd for the biggest gun I see, like on someone's hip, in someone's hand, shotgun, huge revolver, something of that nature.
The only gun that actually speaks to you on a religious and fanatical standpoint is the gun that's actually already been offered to you once. The one that's on Darla's hip. And it explodes with divine providence. But
Uh,
it also weirdly shifts in your vision, knowing that you are not the hand that needs to wield that gun.
Quite curious. Yeah, and I'll go over to Darla and say, "Daughter of the Lord, I can see now clearly. That pistol on your hip is meant to deliver his swift sword of justice to anyone who crosses our little town here. You are chosen to be the hand of destruction. The angel Uriel himself is channeled through you, sister."
Are you gonna remove my coins again?
If you promise to put to death so that they may have no reward any who dare jeopardize this town, I will not touch your coins.
Then I agree to this weirdness, and I place my coins back on the the dead body of the bard.
Furious's hand raises to slap them off, and he visibly cringes as he puts his hand slowly down.
As Father Furious automatically reacts, but then consciously stops himself from doing the the act. Uh, the crowd visibly parts as the acolytes of the Morticians Academy walk in. There are 16 members of this academy, all shrouded in dark black robes that emanate a uh, deathly aura that visibly cows the people around them. And they walk up with a simple plaque with a cross upon that plaque, golden wrought, and a is over the plaque. They lift the body, place it onto the plaque. One of the coins slides off the body. One of the acolytes picks up the coins, sets it back on. They stand up and walk out. During this entire procession, nobody can move because the acolytes of the Morticians Academy almost never leave the academy. Bodies are brought in, bodies are brought out, and they get up and walk out. The members of the town, aside from your group, after the morticians leave, visibly shudder and then continue about their day as if nothing strange has happened. But everybody else in the group there feels as though something strange has occurred because you've never been so invested in a death before. How do you react? It is about 9 o'clock morning. There are 3 hours until Father Furious's duel with the stranger.
I want to say before we find out how Father Furious reacts to this, we are right at our halfway point, folks. So let's go ahead and pause as you wait to find out how Father Furious will react. We will be back in about 10 minutes as we take our bio break, folks. Hey, welcome back, folks. Thank you for waiting a couple of minutes, give or take 10. We are back with more Sputter games, and tonight we've got GM Vexindono, who is going to continue running us through Roll for Shoes. But first, there was a really interesting question that was being asked in the chat, in the behind the scenes chat, and I feel like we should bring that question to the audience. So, by all means, Vexindono, please ask the question that must be answered.
The question that was asked was, is Goofy a cow or a dog?
How do
What
you
do
want
you
to do this?
think,
I want to say, you call people out. Let's do it that way.
What do you think, Miss Bailey and the Bailey?
Goofy's a dog, dude.
I think we lost you there for a second because I didn't hear anything.
I heard her.
Goofy is a dog. 110%.
Goo-
Goofy's a dog.
Goofy's a dog, 110%. What do you think,
that is
Mr. Dominic?
That is some
Yeah, so
freaking
I was the
confidence.
one who posed the question. I will save you all from thinking Vexen is the crazy person. It is me that is the crazy person.
You are the crazy
and-
person, but we don't mind throwing it off to Vexen every once in a while because he can wear the same hat.
And I think Goofy's a cow. Now, the reasoning for this, he has no canines, he has herbivore teeth, he walks on two legs, where Pluto, who is very explicitly, no questions asked, a dog, walks on four legs and can't speak, where Goofy can speak. Kind of anatomically similar to Clarabelle Cow and other cows in the universe. So I believe Goofy's a cow, although I am realizing that I'm like one of the only ones who thinks this. I thought this was a more common thing.
Goofy's nose
Well, how do you
looks
feel?
nothing like a cow's nose. It looks way more like Pluto's nose, which is a dog's nose. But if this is really an argument, can we argue that mice are way smaller than dogs? No reason why Mickey Mouse should have a fucking dog in the first place.
Hey, don't
Yeah,
you
what about
fucking
the
talk about
what
Norman
about
that
the
way.
ROUSs?
Do not talk about Norman that way. Oh my God, Norman will F you up.
What about the ROUSs?
The rodents
Oh,
of unusual
true.
size are a completely different mythological universe than Mickey Mouse. Are we really having this argument right now? Are we really
We
doing
absolutely
Princess Bride?
Exactly. We are actually having this argument because people are listening and they need to know.
Okay. Well, if we're being realistic, I think that Walt Disney knew nothing about the universe of Princess Bride, so rodents of unusual size wouldn't have come to his mind. However, yes, Mickey Mouse is obviously some kind of giant alien mouse who has the ability to have a dog. But also in that same universe, there are dog people, not just dog pets.
I
And
love how
therefore,
freaking
Goofy,
advanced this just
even though
got.
he does not have canines because he has been humanized, and
That's
that's
great
why
for
he
my
doesn't have canines, is because he is an omnivore just like a regular human would be, and just like Mickey Mouse is, he is a dog. I apologize, I understand his girlfriend is a cow or whatever, but Max, his son, is damn sure a fucking dog. And so is his best friend.
I have a
I just gotta
question in
say,
reference to the
oh, go
giant
ahead.
mouse thing.
Go ahead.
I have a question in reference to the giant mouse thing. You don't think giant mouse are a thing?
Not bigger than dogs.
Okay.
Have
Fair
you ever
enough.
seen a
What is the
capybara?
average? What is the? Shut up, Dave. You're ruining my.
God, oh
my
shit, that's
question.
where you were going. I
What is-
apologize.
What is the average size of a dog?
The average size of my dog is 200 pounds.
The average size of my dog.
Okay.
Oh my God, how do you average your dog? Are you dividing it by itself?
No, she's dividing it by his highest weight and his current weight, which is 200 pounds, unfortunately.
The
Okay,
average
fair
weight
enough.
of my dog. I'm sorry, I'm just laughing too hard
Your
about that math
your
improbability.
mutant ridiculous dog, your mutant ridiculous dog is the size of the average, above average male of the human species. However, an average capybara, which is of the rodent variety, is males are around
Capybara's not a mouse.
150
Hold
pounds.
on, capybara's not a mouse.
That
Doesn't
is
even
true.
have big round.
That is true. It's not a mouse. It's a rodent, but it's not a
It's
mouse.
it's of the rodent species, which is what mouse are, which is what you
But it's not a mouse.
indicatively
No,
correct.
but
It's
I'm
not a
She's
mouse.
specifically
right.
talking about
She's
Mickey.
right.
Yes, you are
It
talking
it's
about
a
rodents of
rodent.
unusual size, and I agree with you because a possum can be pretty big as well, and I believe that those are also rodents.
Okay, but okay,
However,
here's the question. Is a capybara a rodent of an unusual size when that's the usual size of a capybara?
True, we could have 400-pound capybaras rolling around, and that would be unusual.
You're telling me in that case that your argument is that Mickey Mouse could potentially be the size of a capybara, which is not bigger than the average
Hey!
dog.
Hey!
Do you
Don't.
like?
Hey! Do not fuck
I'm not
with
talking
the
about
mouse.
chihuahuas,
Hey!
which
Hey!
is
Hey! Shut up!
nice.
Shut up! Shut up!
I'm
You do
talking
not
about
fuck.
dogs.
You do not fuck with the mouse. You shut up right now. Haha. You are going to obey what I say. Haha. That is 100% absolutely not acceptable. Haha. Okay, go ahead.
I would like to use my middle finger and flick Norman.
Oh, poor Norman.
So my question for you is: do you not like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Are there
All
not
right.
mutant varieties of turtles?
It's in the name, brother.
We have totally
Mickey Mouse
taken
is
this
not
joke.
mutant
We
in
have
the
totally
name.
taken this joke to the ground. We gotta
It's not
play.
mutant in anything that Disney produces, minus the things like monsters, which I guess are kind of mutants, but they're more monsters. You know what I'm saying? But nobody ever advertised that Mickey Mouse is a fucking mutant. And therefore,
I'm okay.
yes, Teenage
I'm okay with
Mutant
saying
Expert Universe the mutant, not Mickey Mouse, brother.
All right.
I'm
Yes.
perfectly okay with
Y'all
saying
are
that Mickey
arguing
Mouse
now
is a mutant.
because the answer
Yes.
is
And
clearly
let us get back
They-
to our show.
Yeah, I definitely rolled a crit on my insight chaos check there.
I mean, totally. But I will say we've got viewers and we've got about an hour left to run. So let's go ahead and have some game for them to watch. Yeah? Let's do this.
Beautiful. So as our illustrious Academy of Morticians cart away the body, as is their job in the town, aside from just teaching morticians techniques to the academy, you all get a strange feeling as this happens, where you can't move, you just watch them do their stuff and they leave. Tiger, not Tiger, sorry.
Cookie is making a stew.
Hold on, Cookie. We're going to Tiger, who is our logistics commander.
That is true.
Is during this time walking up to the saloon, having heard the commotion and everything that has occurred. He is observing, and as you walk up, you feel a strange, ominous feeling. And could you do me a favor and roll perception?
Or do anything if you don't have perception. Remember that part.
Yep. That would be a 2.
A 2. Go ahead and bank experience for that. And you get stopped where you're walking, and you you watch as this procession of about 16 acolytes of the Morticians Academy walk out of this alleyway holding a stretcher covered in a cloth with the saloon owner and bartender of the saloon you were just at last night, where your favorite girl happens to work, being carried off 2 pennies over his eyes. And it does look like there is a page of the Bible ripped out and slid underneath the side of his body on the stretcher. How do you react to this?
I'll go up to whoever I see first and just ask what happened.
So as you walk up, you see that there's a large crowd, and as you are able to walk up, everybody's dispersed, and you're like, oh, saloon owner died. I wonder who's going to inherit. We'll have to wait for the morticians to do their test to see however he died. Do you think you have a stake? As they look you up and down, because you're one of the more notable figures who generally frequents the saloon.
Probably not, but what happened to him? How did he die?
We'll have to wait until the Morticians Academy releases the report, and then the paper will probably have the report in 2 days. That's generally how it goes around these spots. Somebody dies, the Morticians Academy releases the report, and the newspaper releases it the next day.
Well, I mean, was there any sign of foul play? Or did he just keel over?
There was blood, but that's all I know. I don't exactly stare at dead bodies for a living. I work in the mines. You want to come help me?
No, no, I don't.
All right then.
But
And they gallivant off.
You might try asking Cookie though.
That old man. He's obsessed with finding his own mine outside of the mine. He only gets like half of what we get. I don't understand
That's what
I don't
they
understand
think.
how he's still surviving. I don't understand how he's still surviving. There's so much clay in the mines, but he's like a cockroach. He just stays there and just I've heard he turns in 3 times the amount of clay we do. I don't know how he gets it. Have you heard about the state of the roads? God, they're awful. I wish the sheriff and the mayor would actually do something about the state of these roads. They just keep getting worse.
I feel
And they walk off.
just for some context to anybody who's tuning into this and doesn't get the joke from last session, that Cookie gets all the clay because he's the one digging the potholes in the roads. If y'all didn't catch that from last week, that's the joke being tossed around here right now.
All right. So, we will finally, it feels like, have everybody in the group in one specific location brought together by one ominous event.
What?
And all of you are standing in the area between the saloon suites and the saloon, staring at a bloody patch on the ground, while Father Furious is talking to Darla about how she is the chosen.
Cool. Cookie starts making a stew.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm also gonna say Father Furious overheard someone talking about who will inherit the saloon. And he kind of looks to the dead body as they carry it away, looks to the saloon, whispering to himself, "The dead shall have no reward. the dead shall have no reward. And I want to try to sneak into the saloon.
While he's sneaking the saloon, Cookie got a 14 on his cooking.
All right. Let me roll for cooking. Hang on, this might affect Father Furious. So, I only got a 9, so your cooking check succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
So, Cookie, you succeed. Do you want to spend any experience to bump your cooking skill up?
I don't have any. I don't have any to burn. I just had a good
Okay.
roll.
That's a
but
fantastic roll.
but
Hold on, one
what I
second.
will do is offer some of the stew to Father Furious and say, "You can't go fight to the death on an empty stomach."
Father Furious, would you mind rolling me a how would you like to resist this mental stimulation to not leave and enjoy the stew instead?
Do you want me to roll like mental stimulation or
Do you have a skill you think that you can persuade me to use instead?
I don't think so. Well, I have mental health, but I don't think that's necessarily the most. That's the only thing
I
that's
feel
even
like
kind
that
of
is fantastic.
That
I
sounds
know.
like
I
the
feel
right
like
skill
mental
right
health
there.
is fantastic. Yeah, I feel like mental
Okay.
health would be great for this. You're slightly off kilter mental state is possibly going to let you resist the delicious food wafting in your direction.
Okay, I got a 10. 5 and a 5
You
on
got a
2
10?
dice.
I only got a 5, so that's fantastic. You succeed. You are able to react in your preferred way.
I was about
Okay,
to say,
I am
it's
going to come back
really
for.
tasty stew.
I'll come back for a bite of that stew. It does smell delicious, but I have to check on something real quick in the saloon. Why don't you give that stew out to the crowd here and make sure they don't see me go into the saloon? And
Are
now I
you
would like
sure
to.
you're going to be alive to taste it later?
The Lord has told me that I shall be alive and have rewards, but the dead shall have no reward, and I must check on the state of the holdings of the recently dead, my friend. Now, please distribute that stew to God's children.
As he says this,
I have
I'm
to
going to
ask-
just say, and nobody's going to know who it's being directed to, Norman, that was the wrong Bible verse. That's all Cookie says. Go ahead.
I have to ask, is this stew being made in the kitchen for my bar?
Oh, actually, it's being made on the floor, and Cookie actually started a fire to do it.
On the floor of my bar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Darla, which notices that, is going to be very upset and walk up to you and say, "Hey, you're going to make stew. You're going to use my ingredients and you're going to make it for everybody. You get back into that kitchen right now." And then she's going to be pissed because there's scorch marks on the goddamn floor now if it's not burned all the way through. And have to
And
assess the damage.
Cookie just dips a spoon and comes out to just ladle a scoop for her. And as he does that, a sextant just comes out of the stew in the spoon, and he hands it to her. And so he's handing her a taste of the stew, but there's just a sextant, like literally sitting on top of the spoon.
Gonna say interesting.
All right. So we're gonna do a roll off between Cookie's either sextant or cooking roll versus whatever skill Darla thinks that she can resist this roll with.
This would definitely be a cooking roll for Cookie. Yeah.
Okay, Darla, what do you think the opposition roll for you would be the best?
Legitimately, the only things I have real skill points in are performance and perception. And I don't know if a
Uh,
perception roll is going to do it for this. A
I
performance
think
roll
that this
might
would be.
try him to go back into the kitchen and cook for everybody.
I think that
Like perform
you
to
could
the boss.
possibly pull off performance and perform to be the leader that you think you could be.
Because I don't think Rickety Firearms is going to do me justice in this one.
All I'm going to say is I already rolled. I'm waiting for you. I didn't want to say the roll until you rolled too.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll your performance versus him.
My performance roll is a 10.
I got a 13, sweetie.
Well, I drink soup.
I will
So you
say,
drink the soup.
Cookie
I pulled the
Stew is
sextant out
not
and I
like
drink soup.
he may fuck around in all other things, but he doesn't fuck around with his stew. His stew is
I'm with you.
delicious.
And do I feel that the stew is delicious, Shift?
Yes. You do feel as though the stew is quite delicious. You're still mad about the fact that he scorched your floor by starting a fire on your floor, but you know that if you douse it with some booze and then throw a little oil over the top of it, it'll seal the wood. But you definitely want him to be cooking in your kitchen from now on. You're not as angry as you would be normally if the stew tastes like shit, but it tastes pretty good. Honestly, even for your refined palate, it tastes pretty good.
Would you like this back, sir?
Oh, that was
I
yours.
hand the sextant over.
Oh,
Oh.
I didn't realize I dropped that in there. And Cookie grabs the sextant back.
And please move this pot to the kitchen and cook for everyone in the bar, and we will be charging per bowl.
Uh, oh, do you got more meat?
Wait, where's
Yes, it's
Norman?
all back there in the
Oh,
bar.
fuck
You know what a
you,
free
dude. No, Cookie is not cooking Norman. Fuck you.
as Darla proceeds to say, do you know what a freezer is?
Uh,
A freezer? In the
Tiger,
Wild West? Are you shitting me?
A cold room. A cold room.
That was anachronistic as fuck. Yeah, no, so Cookie will go ahead and take what he was doing into the kitchen and then just kind of bask and love all this, like, there is so much to cook. And he just starts cooking. Do I need to roll
perfect.
another
Tiger,
cookie roll or no?
no, you're fine.
Okay.
Tiger, what are you doing during this entire unorthodox scenario?
I'm just kind of
Some,
staring
someone
bewildered
has
at
just
the.
been murdered.
I'm being particularly bewildered by Cookie, but I'll go up and try and get some details from Darla. She's usually on the ball.
All right. By all means, interact with Darla.
It, Darla, what happened to the tavern owner? I saw him being carried out on a stretcher by the acolytes of the mortuary school, but nobody seems to know what happened to him.
I'm not sure what happened, but he was definitely attacked. There were no bullet wounds in him, but there were wounds. They were smaller than bullet holes. I'm not sure what actually got to him, but it pierced both of his lungs.
I mean, like that medical instrument that the doctor uses for lobotomies on the good preacher's.
It could have been like that, or it could have been a really long needle, a dart,
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
an arrow. I'm not sure, but it didn't look like an arrow piercing. I'm not sure what happened,
Huh.
but I'm trying to take over bar duties as it stands, and it doesn't. This is the hardest job I've had all week.
Yeah, speaking of strange happenings, when I got home, my telegram was going off like it has been, but I managed to figure out that it was given numbers, not letters. And I managed to figure out that those numbers translated into map coordinates that are just outside the north side of town in the graveyard.
Well, do you think it relates to his death? Do you think that we needed to go check it out? Is this gonna be something that's gonna interfere with my duel?
I don't know. I don't rightly know, but there's something going on weird. I mean, first that stranger comes riding into town. Now we've got a dead body. I don't know what's happening, but I don't like the smell of it.
It doesn't seem right. I do think we should do some investigating.
Yeah.
This is not something I would normally interrupt a show for, but I'm doing it. This is totally a show interruption. Stopping the presses for a second. I finally just got word back from Sola that it was heartburn. It was heartburn. The thing that she went to the hospital for today was heartburn. Or yesterday.
Well, that's
sorry.
about the best case scenario for it.
I mean,
right?
Right?
Yeah.
We love you, Sola, and if you are listening, if you're paying attention tonight, man, we were so worried. And
yeah,
I felt like the moment I got that message, I had to share it with everybody who is on the air right now, part of the Sputtercast. For those of you who don't know, we're talking about Sola, who is a Sputtercast member, and she had to go to the hospital yesterday, and we were just kind of waiting to find out what it was. Kind of funny that was heartburn, but we're not going to make fun of her for it. We're just relieved that that's all it was, right? I thought y'all just would want to know I got the good word on Sola. She's cool.
Yeah.
All right. Please continue the game.
Side note.
Go ahead.
Side note, new Sputter game starting on Mondays.
Oh, no, yeah, no. We are going to be, yes. So we have... might as well do the quick promo. Coming soon on Mondays, starring Sola, Naga, and Chris Masters Ma, and Tony, new Sputtercast member that you guys haven't met yet, but you're about to. We are going to be presenting the Madness of the Multiverse, and it's an adventure. I am really hoping that you guys are going to be you're going to enjoy. I'm super looking forward to it. I am going to be GMing this show. So Mondays 2 p.m. Pacific time. I think we are looking at next week, July 1st, as our first episode. Yes?
I think so.
I think so. Sorry, I wish I had that absolutely 100% in stone to show you guys, but it right now it does look like July 1st is a promising start date, and we are going to be introducing the new show. So thank you for that aside. I appreciate that you bring that up, especially because you're in it and you want people to watch you. I mean, I ain't mad at you. Why else are we doing this, right? Okay. Kicking it back over to our GM, but I felt like that was an important interruption.
No, you're absolutely right. That is an absolute important interruption. We always love to make sure that our fellow Sputtercast members are doing well and that they're not in any dire straits. Absolutely. My best wishes to Soloa to get over her heartburn.
I know,
Um,
right? Like, I'm sorry. There is a bit of a laughter there. I just gotta love you, Sola, but I gotta laugh slightly, cause I got the message. I'm having heart problems. I'm going to the hospital. I will fill you in more later. And then now I get it was heartburn. And I'm like, I am so
hey,
glad it was heartburn. But I'm going to the hospital for heart problems. Holy shit! We were worried.
hey,
We love you, and we were worried.
to be fair, heartburn is the best case scenario
It
for
is.
somebody going to the hospital for heart problems.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I
I
agree. I
can't say much
agree.
about that. Best case scenario.
Again, we love you,
So
but I still gotta laugh. A little bit. I gotta
that's
laugh a little bit.
all right. Well, at least she's conscious enough about her health to make sure that she checks into stuff that's very important.
Yes. Especially
Um,
right in the middle of a Sputter fucking show. She's like, hey, by the way, here's the time I'm gonna send you this. But no. We love you. No real hard feelings. Just joking. All right, please take us over and play the game. Let's do this.
all right. We're back into the session, and right now we're having a conversation between our beautiful, beautiful Bailey and the Bailey, who is portraying Darla, our pseudo saloon manager, and our wonderful railroad observator, Mr. Taggart, between his fortuitous events, observing his telegraph from the previous night, giving him coordinates to north of the city in the graveyard. And they are currently having a conversation about such.
We should definitely do some investigation into this graveyard if that's where the clues are leading.
Yeah, just. I mean, what do we look for?
At this point, I'm not entirely sure what we're looking for. But if that's where the path is leading us, it's probably best to look there. All I
Yeah.
know so far is we're looking for someone with murderous intent who has a weapon we haven't really encountered before.
Has anybody checked out that stranger that was here yesterday?
I haven't found any information thus far, but I haven't done so much investigating as much as pistol polish, if I'm being honest.
Well, I mean, you did have good reason to be distracted. So
Am I in a position to overhear this? Yes or no?
Everybody's in a position to overhear this.
Cool. I want to respond to did anybody hear anything about the stranger? The question that Naga just asked. I would like to make a deception roll.
Sure, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to roll it, and then I'm going to say it.
Go ahead.
11.
I do believe that's a success.
Yeah, I heard all kinds of things about that mysterious stranger and whatnot. I heard he was a postal worker working for this company called what was it? What was it? OnlyFans. I think he was selling just fans, right? That's all he would do. He was just a fan seller, and he had this whole company called OnlyFans, but it went under. He lost his OnlyFans, and then he came here looking for revenge against the non-fans. That is Cookie's deception with an 11.
Anybody
I
who
mean, I
wants
would
to
love to make a
roll,
perception roll against that,
and
but I don't know if that's allowed.
anybody who wants to roll a form of insight against that or argue a related skill is actually okay to do so.
But the roll was 11.
Can I argue that?
But the roll was
Can I
11, so
lying?
what?
I said, can I argue perception for that? Can I perceive that he's lying potentially?
You can give me a reason why you think that Cookie
I
would
don't.
be lying to you.
I don't
Considering you
even
just
need.
tasted
I
his
don't even
food.
need a reason. I think that she should use that one against me. I don't give a fuck.
I mean,
Okay.
you
I'm not
tasted his food.
You can tell me no, but I rolled a 4. So you know that I failed.
This mysterious stranger deals in OnlyFans, and this guy is a traveling salesman who attacks people on the road because it helps him sell fans.
Only fans. I'm sorry. I'm just killing
Just
myself.
ignore
on this
him,
one.
Miss Darla.
I gotta him. I
Tiger,
gotta mute myself. I'm
What
gonna
are
kill
you
myself
saying
laugh.
is making- What he's
Hold
saying
on.
is making. I rolled a
Tiger,
13.
what'd you get?
A
You
13.
so okay, so you know that Cookie is blowing smoke up your ass. For some weird reason, Darla believes him and is off with Cookie having a full conspiracy theory meeting between her and Cookie, just enveloping this person in mystery, selling fans, and killing people in every city to sell fans. Their logic is out of this world, and you're over here with the, but it's fans. Like, fans.
Sorry, I just gotta say because I'm so much more aware of it and conscious of it now. But what was it? We were on the chat earlier today, or sorry, yesterday, and my son just kind of like what was it? He said he just said your laugh sounds like an evil villain laugh. Right? What you were there, Naga? You were there, right? We were having the meeting, and he just like jumped
Yes, I
on.
was.
Right?
Yep.
And then, like, I can't not hear it now. Every time I laugh, I'm just like, fuck, that was some evil villain sounding shit. I can't not hear it now. Alright, continue. Fuck.
Naga, how do you react to this epiphany?
I'm just gonna walk up to Darla and be like, just ignore him, Miss Darla. He's spewing shit worse than his soup.
Darla, you can make a second perception check and see if you can break out of Cookie's illusion of conspiracy theories.
Is she still trying to beat my
No,
11?
I rolled a 9. And you rolled an 11.
Fuck.
So, no. I don't.
She still digs. She
And I'm
still
gonna
buys
look
it.
right
She still
at-
buys it.
I'm gonna look right at Tiger and I'm gonna be like, are you sure you know what you're talking about? This guy, he makes the best stew in probably this city. And he really seems like he knows what he's talking about.
Miss
I
Darla,
don't
have
think
you
he
ever,
convinced me otherwise.
Father
Miss Darla,
Father
have you ever
Furious.
drank water?
Father
Yes.
Furious, while this heated debate about the contents of Cookie Stew is going on in the main saloon, you are currently doing something that I'm sure our audience is going to be very intrigued by.
Yeah,
What
so
do we have to look forward to?
I saw them carrying the body away. I looked to his saloon. I say, the dead shall have no reward. I heard the conversation about who's going to inherit it, and Father Furious thinks that it's divine ordinance that that I should burn down the saloon before someone can inherit it, as that would be the dead's reward.
Wow. That's a
Okay.
fucking turn.
How are you going to go about this divine intervention to burn down the saloon?
Jesus Christ.
The first thing I'm going to do is bless the all of the liquor, as it soon shall be used to bring the fire of heaven upon this town, and then I'm going to spread the liquor.
Can you?
Yeah.
Are you going down to the basement to bless the actual barrels that are in storage?
Yeah, assuming they're, alcoholic enough to, and I can make a chemistry check for this if you want, alcoholic enough to actually cause a raging fire. Like, I don't want to, unless my character would be dumb enough to do it, I don't want to bless a bunch of beer.
Okay. No. You go down to the basement and you start to go around and you start blessing casks of hard alcohol that have more ethanol than anything else. Full poison, which is what the Wild West used to drink, by the way, if anybody didn't know. And as you're going through blessing, can you do me a favor and roll a perception check or if you have a divine intervention skill or something else that you feel like you could persuade me to let you roll a different skill?
Exorcism.
Ooh. I'm going to give you exorcism, but I'm going to take one away from your roll.
Okay. I got
Okay.
a 7, including the penalty.
That's okay, because I only rolled a fucking 5. God, I'm rolling so good. All right. So as you're going through and you're consecrating and you are blessing all of these different barrels, which is weird because there's a lot of barrels down here, and the booze on tap has never been this vast. And as you go to one of the barrels in the corner, you notice that there's a section of the wall that looks very strange. And it doesn't conform to the actual, based on your last night's eccentricities for prepping the ground and the area. You watched Cookie do a lot of geological renovations and stuff. This looks like a wall that was recently dug out and then refitted. Like somebody dug out a hole and then put a cover over that hole. That's what this looks like.
What kind of hidden little nook of sin is taking place in this basement? And I want to roll furniture destruction to destroy the wall.
Absolutely, please do.
6.
I rolled a 2. So you absolutely grab one of the shelves and you smash the shit out of this wall. And you see that it opens up into a weird shaped tunnel. The tunnel is about 7.5 feet tall, but it's only 2.5 feet wide. So it's a little cramped for your shoulders, but you feel like most everybody would be able to make their way through it. It would just be like walking sideways.
I want to pray and see if I feel like if God wants me to go down this tunnel.
You get the same premonition that you got when you first woke up of God damn it, now I have to bring it back up. For the living know that they will die, but the dead know nothing, and they have no reward. For the memory of them is forgotten. but the wages of sin is